Hey everybody, I'm John Everts from California Leasing. Welcome to Agents in Community. I love this little segment we have going here. And I have one of my favorite realtors here, Renee Roque. How are you?
I'm good. I love that the sun is shining out there, John.
Oh man, way better than last week, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Southern California.
It is beautiful outside.
In February, it's beautiful.
I know, it really is.
Thank you for having me again.
Well, I love talking to you, and every time I talk to you, I learn more about you, and you wear a lot of different hats. I'd like to discuss with you two of the hats that you wear because they're, number one, they're connected to real estate, and number two, they're super connected to the community of Santa Clarita. One of them is the City of Santa Clarita Homeless Taskforce, and the other one is that you're on the board at Family Promise, which is amazing. I just learned that today. And those two work really well together. So I just kind of want to let people know what it is you do besides an amazing job of helping them buy and sell homes. When you earn those commissions and you have that time to give back, what are you doing with that time and money, and how is that having a positive impact on our community?
It's so funny you say that, because sometimes when my husband says, so are we doing nonprofit work today, or are we doing profit work today? And you can't separate it. It's all. And I love doing the service that we do in our community. Yeah. And I feel that selling homes and helping clients, really, it's hand in hand, right?
Totally.
So
not for everybody, but for the realtors that we have come join this show, that is definitely a truth.
Yeah.
So tell us about the Homeless Task Force. I don't know a lot about this task force and what you guys do, so I want to find out.
So the Homeless Task Force, I believe, has been about 6 years. I've been involved about 4 yees, and I think it was the response of the city to, hey, we know there's some issues here. Let's bring people together, resources. We have about 100 nonprofits here in our community. Yep. We are a really caring community.
Very much so. Clarita. Generous community.
Very generous,
Invest back in the community.
So many people want to help. So the task force was created to discuss what can we do to help our community? What can we do to help homelessness? Sometimes we don't talk about that in Awesome Town, but we have people in the wash.
Yeah.
We have kids.
I mean, I think I read one time that at the time I read the article, the estimate was like 1,200 people, including kids.
Yes, we don't talk about the kids. And the schools, no, they keep records of that. So the task force consists of representatives from across the community who are invited.
And the city, right?
In the city, yes. Who are just City of Santa Clarita. That come together. We come together once a quarter at City Hall, and Cameron Smythe, I can't believe Cameron Smythe founded it.
Okay, he has put some task forces together in his career.
And so it's an honor to chair housing for the last couple of years.
Awesome.
And we can't say affordable housing because there's no housing. There's no affordable housing.
That's a misnomer.
It used to be called Affordable Housing Committee, but I said, really, we can't do that. There's housing affordability, but it's the Housing Committee. And then we have the Prevention Committee. And then we have the Skills Committee. So the 3 committees.
This is all part of the task force?
All part of the task force.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So who sits there? We have the Salvation Army. We have our team, our sheriff team that goes out, because we have specific teams here in Santa Clarita who go out, the units. We have Bridge to Home, Family Promise. My friend Christina, she has Finally Family Homes, and they build the tiny homes. Yeah. We have school representatives from all ages. Elementary, junior, and Williams Hart.
Are these like administrators from the different schools?
Counselors.
Counselors.
Yep.
Okay.
Counselors are those who know. We come together.
That's
Samuel
a good group
Dixon,
of people.
Yes. If you want resources, we got them.
Okay.
Samuel Dixon is at the table. I'm going to miss Cal Arts. I'm going to miss somebody, but a lot of people from.
How would you describe like the mission of the task force, even if there's not a mission statement, so to speak? Like, what's the goal? What's the driving force behind this thing?
To make a change and somehow impact our community in a good way. So we have the STRAT plan every 3 years. We just are collaborating on a new STRAT plan with action items that we want to see the city, asking the city to implement, that we see the need and what we can do So we discuss things. Should we be, for example, housing? Should be there a centralized place where people can get housing information when they need that? What would that
Okay.
look like? Is that a website? Is that a center? Is that some place where they can come? What does that
Or
look?
is there like outreach maybe?
That's right. And
Okay.
then we all get together and we listen to Bridge to Home that says, well, we kind of have that already.
Right.
Well,
And Family Promise.
yes. And then the Senior Center also is involved.
Okay.
From the beginning, my passion was, we're all doing a lot of different things. How do we even know what people are doing? So why can't let's not duplicate what everyone else is doing.
Become a little more
Let's
efficient.
bring people together a little bit more efficient.
Yeah.
Because when you're in need and you're in crisis, the last market turn, we lost our home. And I know from personal experience, when you're in crisis, you can't be going here, there, all over the
Right.
place
It's overwhelming.
looking. You need one place, one call. And so we also have to handle these guests differently so they can have a good experience. And really, you're in crisis, you need help. How do we get to them?
So is that something you guys are working on right now, or is that something that has been
Ongoing.
done and there is a central phone number that someone could call?
Well, it's ongoing,
Okay.
and that's why we also, when we have Bridge to Home at the table, or Family Families Home, or Single Moms Outreach, they sit on our task force as well,
I like that one.
that we come together. Yeah, right? I know you do. That's special to you. And we come together and talk about what are your needs. So we have the once a quarter, then once a month, we have our housing task force. And we talk about what our needs are. We also introduced last quarter, we had an organization called Dignity Homes, and they create tiny homes in the community, and they've done tiny homes in Santa Barbara.
Huh.
And
Where are they based out of?
they are here in California, but I think Santa Clarita, we have a certain look, the way things are, and they have tiny home communities that are beautiful, beautiful. And so we introduce them to the city to start the discussions.
Yeah.
Is there something we can do here?
Yeah.
What could happen? Look at the possibilities of
Right.
what we could potentially do. So we're not there to say, hey, we can't do that, and that's not going to work, and we don't want those people around. What can we do?
Yeah,
What can we
problem
keep
solving.
bringing to you? Yes, problem solving.
Does it direct any resources, or does it just make recommendations to the city where maybe they'd have the most impact directing resources? Or
Making recommendations to the city,
Okay.
and then when the city has funding, like the CDGB funds,
Yeah.
funds,
I know.
when they have
It's a
those
terrible acronym.
funds, right? It is terrible. And I always get tongue-tied. When they have access to those funds, then we get notification, and
Okay.
everyone can submit for those.
I love that. So really it's just like a group of people trying to keep all of the nonprofits in communication with the city so that they're working together as a team
Solutions.
instead of a bunch of individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I do.
And
I
not,
love that.
right, and not fighting for the same
Well, yeah.
same pot of money all the time. Yeah, we're really solution oriented. What can we do?
Yeah.
Do we need an 800 number? What can we do?
Yeah. Awesome. I mean, I love that these two organizations that you're working with. I love Family Promise, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Love them. And I love that the work you're doing with those organizations connects to real estate.
Mhm.
Because if you already have a passion for real estate, being involved with a nonprofit organization that has a connection to real estate makes it really natural. And there's a big scope, you know?
Mhm.
I have a good friend who's working on a program that's going to help seniors when they get to the point where they have to change their living situation.
Yeah.
That's such a great
Transition.
connection to real estate. Homelessness connected to real estate. Affordable, what'd you say? Housing affordability issues.
Mhm.
You know, single parents trying to find a place to live for them and their kids issues. Those are all so connected to real estate because it's one of our few really basic needs. We need shelter
We need
as human
shelter.
beings. So.
You can't even think or do anything if you don't have that. And can I
Yeah,
share?
you can't think about anything else.
Yeah, and one of the projects that we brought to the city was shared housing. It was initiated, we got an 18-year-old girl out of the shelter and into a home in Stevenson Ranch, shared housing. And so it's a program.
With like a sponsor family?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yep. And so what makes that different is when she was in our program, she had full wraparound services. So she had a counselor with her to help her make that transition into a home.
Interesting.
So it was more successful. Not just we're going to give you a room and you're going to rent it, but she came with services to help her come from homelessness.
I mean, once you get through
Operate inside.
crisis, then the next process is the healing and then the growth until you can get to where you're thriving, right?
Yeah, we believe all people given an opportunity can do it.
But for the grace of God, there go I.
That's right. And sometimes you just need a mentor to walk you through the
Yeah.
steps.
100%. Nobody's going to do it alone.
That's right. And that's why Family Promise, I was just there last night. We had our second governing board meeting at the location.
Awesome.
It is amazing.
I got to come check it out.
It's fantastic.
Cool.
I started with the program when it initially when it was here in Santa Clarita. I mean, it feels like 12 years ago. We were one of the first host churches that Sunday to Sunday, our guests would come into the home and we would feed them, house them, shelter them. So all they had to do was get a job and take care of the kids, and we would bring food to them. And then COVID changed all that.
Yeah, it did. And we're still recovering from that, but I want to tell you, I really appreciate the work that you're doing in our community. I know your heart. I love seeing this stuff, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come and tell us about these great organizations.
Thank you, John.
Yeah,
Appreciate being here. Thank you for giving me the
Genuinely,
opportunity.
thanks for what you do.
All
Keep
right.
doing it.
Love to give you an update on Family Promise sometime.
And if you want to get in touch with Renee to find more about if something pulled at your heart right there, give her a call. She'll talk about this stuff just as much as she'll talk about real estate.
Yep.
And she loves doing it. And we love having you watch. Thank you for joining us on Agents in Community, and we'll see you next time.